Welcome to a Legendarium special about exorcising demons in ancient Mesopotamia. In this episode, we will talk about the thought world of the ancient Mesopotamians and how they imagined the demons which they blamed for illness and misfortune. Ancient Mesopotamia is a region in Western Asia known as the cradle of civilization. Agriculture, animal herding, and advanced architecture developed there by 8,000 years ago, and by 3000 BC they created the world's oldest known cities and invented the wheel. At the center of these cities lay the temples, which protected people from real and imagined terrors. In the ancient Near East, witchcraft and demons truly terrified the people who made the deserts bloom. If some misfortune inexplicably befell them, like illness or their animals acting strangely, they believed that either a sorcerer or a fearsome demon targeted them. Mesopotamian folklore is filled with creatures with catchy names like the Lurker, the Fog, and the Strangler. In the temple schools of Mesopotamia, an ambitious young person could study contract law, medical billing, and accounting. Students also learned exorcism rituals, how to mix healing potions, perform astrology, and how to cure demonic possession. Aspiring magicians had three fields to choose from. There was divination, interpreting divine omens or questioning the gods on behalf of petitioners. Lamentation involved appeasing angered gods by chanting. Third, they could practice exorcism, removing evil spirits. Sumerians believed that certain spirits caused certain diseases, which could be identified through a patient's symptoms. This spirit entered the body through the head, and the priest needed to know the spirit's name so that he could give it the right treatment. For instance, one tablet advised rubbing someone's head with butter and milk to cleanse them of the head disease of heaven. Of course, symptoms could occur throughout the body. Another tablet wrote that symptoms of possession could begin in the muscles, and if this happened, the possessed patient had fever, chills, intestinal problems, and abdominal pain that radiated to the back. In this case, the treatment called for cleansing the patient with water, then wrapping his head with a bandage and juniper leaves. He must leave this bandage on for 1 day and then throw it away. This method supposedly drew the illness-causing demon out of the patient's skull. More elaborate rituals involved anointing with oil, the drawing of magic circles, and the setting up of magical objects around the room. Exorcism involved a host of other practices like reciting incantations, using incense or amulets, and tying or untying knots in a ritual fashion. These exercises transferred the spirit into a piece of wool or a figurine, which could be easily disposed of. Sumerians did not believe in just one type of spirit. They believed in entities like demons, devils, and even ghosts, which could enter a person through possession. Some demons came from the underworld, while others were simply sad and lost souls. For example, if a person in life was unloved, abused, and neglected to the point where it caused their death, the tortured soul would seek to inhabit another body. Once in that body, however, their maligned nature would harm the patient. This could make the patient feel depression, nausea, loss of appetite, and weakness. To know the difference, the exorcist would pay close attention to the patient's symptoms and consult his manual. If the priest-doctor believed a lonely spirit possessed the patient, the exorcism included making a nice meal for the offended spirit and offering it positive and kindly words, along with medicinal herbs to treat the symptoms they caused. One specific exorcism rite is described on a bronze figure of the demon Pazuzu, whose outstretched arms hold a tablet. It is a small amulet, only 5 inches high and 3 inches wide. It is called the Hell Plaque. On its top first row are divine symbols like those found on boundary stones, including the symbol of Utu, the ancient Mesopotamian sun god who provided truth, justice, and morality to the world. The Hell Plaque's second row showed 7 Galu, animal-headed demons that carried victims off to the Mesopotamian underworld. Some scholars believe this harkens back to the animist and totemic beliefs of the first Mesopotamians. Finally, the third row of the Hell Plaque shows an actual exorcism rite. In the middle, there is a possessed person lying on a bed. At the head and foot of the bed are priests, identified by the fish-like robes which badge them as priests of the water god Ea. A demon behind one priest holds 2 other demons at bay, while one priest holds a lamp which symbolizes Nusku, the god of fire. Finally, the last row shows a bowl, water bladder, 2 jars, and various foods, which are offerings for the demons, which could persuade them to leave their victim. In particular, the priest-doctor sought help from Pazuzu, a whip-wielding demon who was husband to Lamashtu. Because Lamashtu had no children of her own, the ancients believed she would suckle pigs in the place of infants and steal children. This myth about baby-stealing and grief-stricken Lamashtu provided Mesopotamians with an explanation for miscarriages, stillborn infants, and unexplained infant death. Only prayers to her husband Pazuzu could protect their children from Lamashtu. Perhaps the Mesopotamian belief in possession should be seen as further evidence of their rationality, for ritual exorcisms might be easy to scoff at today, but they provided comfort and reassurance to the victim, along with an explanation to the rest of society for these terrible illnesses. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.